Hey guys, today we're going to start a new chapter, Life and Death on the Chessboard. So in the previous chapters, we've introduced that liberties are indispensable for stones to keep on the chessboard. However, sometimes liberties can be blocked by our opponent. In order to keep our stones safe on the chessboard, we need to develop eyes, which refer to empty points surrounded by stones of one color. So now we officially start section 1. Real eyes and false eyes. I will firstly introduce false eyes, which refer to part of the encircling stones can be eaten alone. And before you are examples of false eyes, and I will explain to you one by one. So let's look at our first shape here. We can see that those two white stones are sticking at the diagonal point of this shape, and eventually it will become like this, where we can see that the white stones are surrounding this black stone. So as from previous chapters, we know that one stone has 4 liberties on the chessboard. And now we see that those 3 white stones are surrounding this black stone, making a check. So the black stone can only stick here to survive. And in this case, there is no eye for this shape. Now let's look at our second example. As always, those 2 white stones are sticking at the diagonal point of this shape, and it eventually becomes like this, where the white stones are checking those 3 black stones. And we see that the black stones have no way but stick to this point, and the empty point is destroyed so that this shape has no eye either. So let's look at this shape here. This is another example of a false eye. Can you see from the previous examples what are the similarities? Well, again, those 2 white stones are sticking at the diagonal points of this empty point so that the final situation will become like this, where the white stones are checking those 2 black stones at the same time. Or they can just check one side so that the black stone has no way but just to stick to this empty point, which causes the white stones to destroy the eye for the black. Next, we will introduce an example of a real eye. So in this case, we can see that there is an encircled point here, which represents a real eye. So we can see that if white goes here, it is forbidden, because as in the previous chapter, we introduced the forbidden point, which white cannot just directly place here. It must sort of check the liberty outside before putting a stone here. And do you see the difference between a real eye and a false eye? So for a false eye means that there are white stones on the diagonal points, but as in this shape, we can see that there is no white stone at the diagonal point, and all 3 diagonal points are black stone. So in this case, white cannot just directly place here, as it forbids the rules of Go. In short, a real eye serves as a forbidden point for the opponent, unless there is no any other liberty left for the whole group. Now let's look at some exercises. So these are some eyes on the chessboard. So can you distinguish between false eyes and real eyes? I want you to tell me which one is a false eye and which one are the real eyes. Just pause the video and leave comments on the comment section. In this section, we learned the definition of an eye and the difference between real eyes and false eyes, which is more complicated than the previous chapter. In the next section, I will continue to introduce the difference between living groups and death groups on the chessboard. If you're interested in my further videos, please subscribe my channel and I will see you next time.